When I plan my attack, when I plan my attack, I doubt that you're ready. Rhymes like bullets penetrate your zone. One time on the MIC. When I plan my attack, I doubt that you're ready. Rhymes like bullets penetrate your zone. On the MIC.
Yeah. White on the track again, PPL is back again, coming for the Patty's twins, cause she the champion. It's the Pantheon Cup we all battle for. When rivals get to scrapping, it's a savage war. This is what we waited for. Finally, y'all, the time is here. Fantasy is back. My favorite fucking time of year. Light your bloods is time now. PPL is live now. The show where shit gets real, dog. We're all after the pie now. Gino in the jet, he hosts the show, uploading videos. He does it all from A to Z. You like the league to pay the fee or win it all and play for free. Play to be the best or lazy. It's a league of competition. Still the crown, that's the mission. Dog, it's time to get it cracking, plan your moves and start attacking. PPL is back in action, teams get mad, you know what happens. Hate each other, play with passion, build a team with trades and drafting. I think I done said my part, it's time for PPL to start.
When I plan my attack, I doubt that you're ready. Rhymes like bullets penetrate your zone.
Happy Thanksgiving, PPLers. Yes, we're here. PPL Live Thanksgiving 2021 edition. Gino the Gent is in the house. We're ready to get into our Week 12 matchups for the Thanksgiving holiday. But before we do that, let's take a look back at our Week 11 scores. Starting with the Argonauts clinching the #1 seed throughout the PPL playoffs, beating the Baby Gas team 141-92. Squad underestimated, makes it 4 straight, beats the Skulls in our interconference matchup 105-91. The Mean Machine, with the upset of the year, beats Only for the Boss 134-105. The United Players of Destroyers keep it rolling, make it a dogfight in Omega 114-ATG's 108. And Patty's Twins in the Prestige matchup of the week leaves no doubt on the gas 186-85. Alrighty, PPLers, we're going to give you our final standing projections presented to you by PPL Live. Starting with number 10, the Mean Machine. At number 9, the Baby Gas team. At number 8, we have the Gaff Attack. At 7, Squad underestimated. At 6, Only for the Boss. At 5, we've got Appease the Gods. At 4, the Skulls. 3, the United Players of Destroyers. 2, Patty's Twins. And at number 1, the Argonauts. Alrighty, ladies and gents, let's get you into our good, bad, and ugly for Week 11. Obviously, no Ulysses today, so we're going to get Gino's good, bad, and ugly today. Starting with my good. My good has got to be the United Players of Destroyers. I left these guys for dead last week. Didn't think they had much of a chance, but they roared back on Monday Night Football with great performances from Tom Brady and Chris Godwin, pulling the Omega Conference into a virtual tie outside of Patty's Twins, and pretty much staking claim to a playoff spot. The United Players of Destroyers went a long way in helping their playoff chances with that huge win over ATG. My bad has got to be the Gaff. The Gaff just can't get an Omega Conference victory against a big-time opponent, and they really showed second week in a row they lost to a top Omega Conference team. It's been a tough year for the Gaff, but he still has a chance because of the other teams around him to still make the PPL playoffs. So the Gaff is my bad. And the ugly has got to be the Skulls. A 3-game losing streak keeps getting worse. They could have gotten squad underestimated. You got to trust your studs. Terry McLaurin sitting on that bench really hurt the Skulls, and it could cost them the playoffs week after week. It's been one little move after another that's hurt the Skulls, and it's really slowing down their playoff potential. So that's my ugly. But with that being said, it's time to get into the turkey tussles of Week 12, and we're going to start in the Alpha Conference with an all-time turkey tussle matchup, the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys of the PPL. We've got squad underestimated of the Alpha Conference, one of the hottest teams in the league, taking on the league-leading Argonauts. All right, so this matchup is one of Thanksgiving Day tradition. These two teams play on Thanksgiving every year. Squad underestimated being led into this matchup with Kirk Cousins. Obviously, they've been able to salvage a lot of the injuries and continue their season despite not scoring very high. They're getting wins. Christian McCaffrey is going to lead an all-star cast against not much of a star cast against the Argonauts because their whole team's hurt. Kirk Cousins on the line, and then of course Hollywood Brown to close things out on Sunday night. Now on the Argonaut side, Dak Prescott will get the show started. Nick Chubb looks like he's going to make an appearance instead of Ezekiel Elliott. And obviously Cook and Najee Harris on Sunday would be big dividends for the Argo. George Kittle has really started to emerge, and that's the difference for the Argonauts. Once he plays well at tight end, it makes them one of the most unbeatable teams in the entire PPL. That being said, looking at this matchup, it's one that the squad underestimated. They've been hot, but they haven't played any team over the last few weeks that has really been able to challenge them. The Argonauts will be able to do that, and that's why I have the Argonauts winning this matchup. I got the Argonauts winning this matchup 136 to squad underestimated 118. Moving on to our next matchup, we go into the interconference matchup of the week. The United Players of Destroyers, a team that is I put left for dead last week, is showing that they may resurrect as they take on the Mean Machine. All right, so the United Players, this matchup means everything to them. Doesn't mean much at all to the Mean Machine, but the Mean Machine was able to play spoiler against Only for the Boss last week with a huge performance from Justin Herbert. I think that can continue again this week. Herbert is a absolute stud. Miles Sanders gets back into the lineup, and he is the main running back in that offense. The Mean Machine's lineup's actually starting to look somewhat respectable. Elijah Moore is emerging, and I really, really do like Hunter Renfrow if he was a flex guy. They do need a number one receiver. Michael Thomas's injury throughout the season has killed this team's momentum, but this is a team that can definitely play spoiler in this matchup. Now on the UP side, Tom finally got back to himself. But we're seeing it. The King Henry injury is still hurting this team. Now, Swift had a huge day, but they're going to need more. They need Cooper Kupp back in that lineup, and if they're able to do that, I like the United Players here, especially being the fact that the Mean Machine really doesn't have much to play for. United Players can still get a possible Omega Conference title. So I'm going to go with United Players to win this matchup, 114 to the Mean Machine's 107. Moving on to our next matchup, we're going to a matchup crucial for both teams. 2 5-6 Omega Conference teams sitting in the Conference of Champions, hoping to squeak into the wild card. We got the Gaff, who was left for dead, going against the Skulls, who we had all picked a little too early. All right, so obviously this matchup is one that will be season defining no matter what happens for both of these teams. The Skulls have simply lost heart. 3 straight losses. They cannot afford a 4th straight, especially to a Gaff Attack team that is desperate for Omega Conference victories. Josh Allen will get it started tonight against the New Orleans Saints. We'll see how that goes. I do like that Darrell Henderson Jr. is back in the lineup, and Darren Waller is a man. Other than that, DK Metcalf has disappointed big time. Terry McLaurin probably should have never left that lineup. And of course, Jamar Chase is the one of the top rookies of the entire season. Now on the Gaff side, he's been able to scrap it together, but got destroyed by 100 points by their chief Omega Conference rivals, Patty's Twins. I expect a bounce back from them this week. Jalen Hurts against the New York Giants. He's had a very productive season, top 5 season in the PPL at the quarterback spot, despite it not always looking as pretty as we'd hope. A.J. Brown steps into it against the New England Patriots. Now, one thing Bill is very, very good at is actually scheming against star players. So A.J. Brown may have a tough outing, and the Gaff better get CeeDee Lamb out of that lineup because he is inactive today. We will probably see Chase Claypool or Jerry Jeudy on the Gaff side. That being said, this is probably the hardest matchup of the week to pick. The Skulls come in without any momentum. The Gaff, the momentum that they had in interconference warfare has waned. That being said, I think that the Skulls have one more shot at it. I think Jamar Chase and DK Metcalf wake up along with Terry McLaurin on Monday Night Football. I've got the Skulls squeaking by the Gaff Attack, 124 to the Gaff's 121. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into Alpha for a team that was at the top of the PPL, in the penthouse, sitting atop the league in the Pantheon Cup last year. Now they find themselves on the outside looking in after a promising start. We've got Only for the Boss taking on the Baby Gas team. All right, so it's been spelled out. Only for the Boss. No Chiefs this week. No Travis Kelce. No Patrick Mahomes. And if you saw this matchup, you would think, oh, well, no problem for only for the boss. Not so fast, my friend. The Tyrod Taylor play is not one I like. I know they're playing the Jets, but Tyrod gives up sacks, and the Jets aren't all that bad against the quarterback position. I like the Mike Gesicki play in place of Travis Kelce. Gesicki's been one of the better tight ends in the league. And Deebo Samuel is emerging as one of the top receivers in the PPL. He ranks number 3 at the position, and he also plays running back, so that's a great play for only for the boss. Now, on the BGT side, Ramondre Stevenson was a bright spot a few weeks ago for them, but since Damian Harris came back into that Patriot lineup, Stevenson has been relegated to the backup position. That's huge for the BGT, who have not been able to find regular starters at that running back position outside of Josh Jacobs. Russell Wilson's struggles have killed the BGT. They probably should have just stuck with Ryan Tannehill throughout the rest of the way, and they probably would have had a better chance, but who's to know things like this? It doesn't look like the BGT has adjusted their lineup at all. They went Colts coach last week, and it didn't hurt them, but I think that it could this week. I've got only for the boss keeping their season on life support. 123 to BGT's 112. And moving on to our prestige matchup of the week. We've got a big win in Omega championship territory as Patty's Twins looks to clinch the Omega Conference title, going up against Appease the Gods, who may need a little help to win that championship. All right, Patty's Twins has not won an Omega Conference title since our very first season of existence, 2009, the season they won Pantheon Cup 1. Despite winning 3 Pantheon Cups, they have never won more than one Omega title. They have a chance of doing that this week. On ATG side, the late scratch of Lamar Jackson due to flu-like symptoms was also a scratch to appease the gods. Omega Conference Championship hopes. Looks like they're going to get Lamar back for Sunday night, but that was a huge hit to them, and obviously the loss of the coach, the Titans. Who could have saw that one coming? ATG Patty's Twins. This matchup is going to be one of the more interesting matchups. ATG really should have beat the Twins earlier this season, got cute and benched Lamar. That won't happen again. On the Twins side, I'm surprised we don't see Matthew Stafford in the lineup. Twins have not been happy with what they've seen and heard from Aaron Rodgers, of all people. He's been, obviously dealing with COVID and has become a laughingstock in the media. But he's no longer the Twins MVP. The Twins MVP is JT, Jonathan Taylor, the best running back in the PPL right now. Quickly snatched the crown off of King Henry's head and put it on his own. And as the Patty's Twins on the death march to an Omega Conference title. ATG, they get David Montgomery and Joe Mixon. Mixon has been a man all season, but he goes up against a tough front with Pittsburgh. Mike Evans is in an offense full of great receivers. And Brandon Cooks, it's a roll of the dice just depending on what happens. Dallas defense today will set the tone, but in the end, I think I have the Twins getting this one done. Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson may have something to say on Sunday night, and we've seen ATG pull rabbits out of his hat, but I believe the Twins are on their way. They've shown the scoring potential at the right time of the season. They're the hottest team in the PPL by far. I believe that continues behind Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, and Keenan Allen with huge performances. I got Patty's Twins winning the Omega Conference title, clinching the number 2 seed in the PPL playoffs, 141 to appease the gods, 136. Alrighty, PPLers, thanks for another great short week of PPL Live. I hope everybody is enjoying the holidays with their family. We start off, obviously, today with 3 matchups on Thanksgiving. Then we go to Sunday. We'll get the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens, seeing if Nick Chubb can run the Argo to victory. And we close out on Monday night, seeing if the Skulls can keep it alive with DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin in that Seahawks-Redskins matchup. You guys have a great weekend.